Close enough, huh?
All right, where to next?
Town.
All right.
Just put it up there. I'm going to try to drill it in right there.
Are we going back?
From the minute you kind of turn the corner from Empire and start heading into town.
Yeah.
And I was shooting out to the Black Rock and then just zoomed in. And there was a great tune on the radio, and it was just like, you know, you're going like 30 miles an hour. And it just felt like being in a movie.
We arrived here coming down that row of trees, which wasn't that big then, but the road came down here and you parked and there was the house. Over in that section over there was the boneyard. So you would go out there and find old stove parts and just all wonderful old treasures because it had been being dumped on since World War I was over. The first time we were here, John had set up a kiln with the bricks that he had gotten from the Empire mine, and he was set up to fire his first pottery, which he was making in the shed in the back of the house. And so he just had some extra bricks piled and a kiln built out of those bricks. He was firing that kiln with butane at a relatively low temperature, low fire. When you went tink, 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 it wouldn't tink, tink very well. It was more cluck, cluck, cluck. We all put our sleeping bags down here on the lawn. Fortunately, the weather was good. This was the sort of annex to the house, which was built out of railroad ties. And in this annex is where he had his potter's wheel and where he made the pots.
So how do you think the sale's going?
Oh, amazingly well.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I was surprised because the weather was so bad. But we sold at least 4 paintings. Yeah, that was really big. The Black Rock Rendezvous group who were out on the playa, it was bad weather, so they had nothing better to do than to come see us. It's like, oh, that works. So actually, bad weather is kind of a good thing for us. So we have 4 galleries to show the pottery. We have X, Y, Z, and the Porch Gallery. This is Gallery X. We have beautiful natural sunlight here, and the pottery shows beautifully. We have a number of lines that we keep in here. We have the black and white. We have bamboo. We also put a lot of the new designs here. And this is Gallery Y, where we keep the red and the green. The lines in here are cherry blossom, red dragonfly, green dragonfly, and this cactus ware. This is Gallery Z, which is actually the oldest gallery, and it has the desert wear line, which is John's oldest design. It's his signature work, and it's evolved over about 45 years, from pretty simplistic to now very complex and all hand painted. Where are you guys from?
Reno, Nevada.
Then you definitely should be on the show.
Yes.
You have to think a little bit about where you put stuff.
Yes. The red likes to be like out in here. That's why I make Rachel do these ornaments, because it creates the atmosphere so that all this copper atmosphere will create the red there. So if I don't have the ornaments, it doesn't come out as nice.
Do you see anything you like?
Well, I see that the red came out all right. I've had several loads where it didn't. So that means I was going to remove the whole red display because I was having inconsistent results. But
Do you know what you did right?
no. The copper reds, you got to pay attention very early in the firing. So around cone 010, you start your reduction, and that has to be pretty good, pretty healthy reduction there, and it's before everything started melting, so it affects the surface. Reduction is where you cut the oxygen off to the kill. Yeah, because that's all the way closed. Everything is, and that would be open. So every hour and 15 minutes you pull the damper out and you oxidize it. That's sort of mimicking what you would do in a wood kiln, where you open it up and increase the heat and then shut it down.
Does that affect the whole, what you think you're going to put in together because of the reduction?
Yeah, it takes a lot of experiential knowledge. Pottery villages of the past, the elder was running the kiln, because and the youngers were sweeping the floor.
How far is it?
Quarter mile.
Everything looks like it came out really good this time.
Beautiful. This is a beautiful red. John claims the more ornaments are in there, the better the red.
That's the truth.
Now we have to have lots of red ornaments. We tried not to make red because it's a hard color and people keep buying it. So we have to keep making it. They love it. They're really purple. It's a very purple load.
I mean, some of this stuff can get priced up and stashed right here. Go the other way. Maybe, if you got room.
I can certainly do that.
Yeah, I'm going to count those as seconds.
You fire the casseroles with the lid on?
Well, if you didn't, it'd warp and never fit, so... Okay, we shouldn't do too much of this.
Why shouldn't you do too much of it?
It's kind of an off-color section. Let's see what Rachel says on that one.
What?
That
This?
mug.
This much. What do I say about it?
How did I do that? Why did I do that? Yeah, what color is that? Shiny blue goes red because of the copper all over the kiln. That's what's happening to that. That's that mug I got in the house.
That's the shiny blue.
But
But
it'll
that's
go
what
red.
happens when there's too many ornaments.
Yeah, the outer,
The purple.
the purplish one. Okay. Now they know what to do. Clay. I used to make clay in the early days, which is a lot of work and requires much more pieces of machinery and takes forever. In fact, it takes so long you don't have time to make pots. This clay has been mixed and it goes into a vacuum, so it has no air in it. But you still have to wedge it because the outside and the inside are different consistencies. So we weigh the clay. That's how I get everything to the right size. We'll make an arbitrary weight at 6 1/4.
And how many mugs is that?
We will cut it into 4 equal pieces. When we wedge it, which it helps align the particles and get the air out of the clay, we're orienting those clay molecules into a certain direction. Clay is moving as you fire it too. It's shrinking and turning and melting. It's constantly fluid.
So do you do a rough formation that has something to do with your final shape when you're doing this? Like you just
Always, every movement should be towards your final shape. Center the clay. Open narrow. Pull out the bottom. Claw up once only. Knuckle up 2 to 3 times. Trim your edge, your upper edge, your top, and cut off the bottom with a stick. Finish the outside with the rib. Polish the finished edge with a strip of plastic, and then cut it off the wheel. Usually I tell my customers when they pick up a mug, just find one that fits in their hand. This mug is a 2-finger mug, so as are all of these mugs, except for this one, which you can get 3 in, because it's a little heavier. So you need a 3rd finger in there. It all has to, the handle itself doesn't want to be sticking out too far, so the first thing you do when you get it home is knock it off. The most important part of this mug, to me, is the handle. I basically take a coil, whether it's extruded or rolled out, a 1-inch coil. So it's attached as a cylinder with a dry hand and then pushed on with your thumb and cleaned up with your other finger. And then it's held up in the air like this and pulled off, and then you fold it down like this, and now you see your negative shape, and that's the sort of part that is attractive. The drinking part is right here on the rim. This rim, you have to make it so that you can see this little lip under here, so that it fits on your lip. And it's not too thick. Commercial coffee cups sometimes have a 1/2-inch thick rim and you spill stuff and dribble down your chin. And you don't want it too thin to where it chips easily. So there's very specific thickness up here. You want the pot to have some elegance on the table. Even a regular cylinder wants to come out of the ground and grow. It doesn't just want to go onto the table.
So you think you have almost a kiload here, and
It's almost a kiload. I might have to piece together individual pieces for a fit. I have to think pretty quickly on my feet here. I got the bottom and then I don't have any plates, right? I got these plates. I've got those. So I can just get rid of all this stuff and fire it. Finish decorating these boards, go get my chicken and avocado sandwich, and then come back. Right? Try not to fall asleep while I'm doing this.
Did you always have these little tubes?
I've been using them for years. I mean, you can use anything to decorate with, brushes, sponges. There are great days where you find a new little technique and it just doesn't go away.
Green on red?
Yeah.
Is that the blue?
I think it's another jadeite. Kill sampling this morning. Doesn't run on the red, so it will hold its position. See, I've got these two here, and I need 4 more, so I would have to glaze those 2, and a bunch of that crap over there. Yeah, I don't put any glaze over these. We'll wax them, and we'll let that wax sit for an hour or 2, and proceed with the rest of the loading. And I'll glaze these because they go on the top, except for 2 of these, which are going to get glazed red. Where's the weeds? 1 weed? That's all you get?
So the wax goes on the painting
Yeah,
and it keeps it from the fire.
right. So this section of the kill, we're thinking we're going to turn this iron red a little brighter of color. So now we're going to take those ones here that we did, all this shelf, and pop these in there. We're trying to get this kill loaded before the cocktail hour.
Well, I think I should put my camera down and help you.
16.5 minus 11.5. That leaves me 5 inches.
4.
We won't mention that. 4.5. 3:30 in the morning is your next wake-up call. But you don't have to get dressed. You just come out of your sleeper and we're turning the kill on.
At 3:30 in the morning. I like it.
It's kind of a groggy thing. You walk outside, pee, fire the kill.
Why 3:30 in the morning?
Because it doesn't. I don't want it going past the cocktail hour.
You want it out.
I want it done before, 8 o'clock at night.
So you start real early.
Yeah,
And then the fire's all day.
all day. Okay. I didn't need to do all of those. Yeah, nothing will fit up there.
because you had a space for it.
Yeah, I'm looking for that jadeite because we know that works well on the bottom. How can we get this big shit in here this time? Shit, out of luck.
That's it. Bring it home, Johnny.
That'll work just fine. Yeah, you'll get to see even the mixing of glazes. This is good timing on your part.
You told me when to come, John.
Oh. Look at that. Okay, find me something tall in here.
What about these? I mean, they're medium tall.
They'll be medium tall. This will be fine.
Yeah.
Let's just take this right here. Call it good. See, I don't think I can get another red shelf in there. I'd just as soon not screw all those up. I've got that entire shelf of red mugs. So cone 010 here, this one, is used to indicate when to start my reduction. And it melts at around 1635 degrees Fahrenheit. And these are cone 8, 9, and 10, and they start bending at around 2300 degrees to 2380 approximately. And I turn the kiln off when basically this one's bent. As you can see right here, here's a fired thing. So when it reaches this temperature with this cone 10 slightly bending, time to shut her down. Do all this again. Dark one is for when I start reduction. 010.
So you wait for that. That one has to melt before you. Yeah.
So you gotta sight these cones all the way along and memorize where they are. So when we light it in the morning, there'll just be some flame, so there'll be some light in there, and I can see if I have to make any adjustments to where I'll be able to see the cones. $2,300 is what we're going for. Oh, I wonder if this is going to work out for me. The reduction cycle starts now. Every 70 minutes, we're going to adjust the damper. We're going to pull it out for 7 minutes. And push it back in. And reduce for another 70 minutes. And then pull it out for 7 minutes.
And where did this ancient formula come from?
It's trial and error. That's why I have a small kiln. You can trial and error more frequently than with a large kiln.
It's amazing that all those different glazes. I mean, this is like you're baking a lot of different dishes in one oven.
Yeah, you find that out. There's some glazes that have zinc and magnesium, and they'll turn everything in there pink if you're not careful. So you find that out very early on in the pottery.
You're making black.
That's black. First we'll put in $40 worth of cobalt.
Cobalt is in black.
Hey, what are you doing? Every day. Okay. We'll set up a deal. Alright. Later.
What's that one?
Nepheline cyanide. Fluxing agent.
Okay.
It's a glaze all by itself.
Hmm.
This is Alberta slip. Comes from Canada. Two.
That's a load of that.
It's the whole glaze, pretty much.
And the cobalt and ochre were pigment.
Yeah, that makes it the black. Can't see the card.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Isn't that it right there, where your hand is?
Yep.
Oh, is it a secret?
Yeah.
$21.39.
Getting warm, huh?
Oh no, you can't even. You can make 4 pots in 5 minutes.
The people bought it, and I said, well, I can't let you have it yet.
They already bought it and you're repairing it?
Well, I saw it as I was wrapping it.
So before you painted the edge, you just decided
Well, look, there's no paint in here.
No paint?
No. Okay. Now we got cone 8 is down, cone 9 is starting to build.
It's like looking into the sun.
Yeah, it's just like looking into the sun.
So now we're on the 7-minute.
Yeah.
Oof. Whoa! Can I see that? Yeah, right. Yes, I can see it. $22.98.
But we have the cone. The cone 9 is bending like this, a little more than that. So it's not going to take another 70 minutes. If it goes 20 minutes and then I got to oxidize it again, it screws up the load. So I want to have enough time in the reduction to put the final oxidation. But our time frame is 45 minutes. It's going to be fine.
Final oxidation.
So I try to fire by the clock. I find something that works with all the glazes. Good enough to get it done. I'm not delving into the science of all of this to like perfect this.
What science?
The science of melting stuff.
Right.
But that's what we're doing. We're just melting something. I want it to come out so that it's like a nice piece. Beautiful, nice piece, right?
Yeah.
And we'll always get a few really extra nice pieces in there. So we'll just, that's the deal.
There.